Hello, America. I'm here to talk to you about the difference between a Democrat and a Republican. And I know I've made previous videos, but I don't think anybody really grasps what the difference is. Fundamentally, the Democrats believe that the federal government should be in charge of everybody and everything, like a king or a queen. Now, I know to any intelligent person that sounds a lot like communism. The Republicans believe that the federal government should only be dealing with federal issues like international trade, protecting our borders, making sure our country's safe from international terrorists. If you listen closely to their campaigns, Donald Trump would say things like, "This is my opinion, but I'll let the states decide." And Hillary Clinton would very cleverly say, "This is what's right for everybody," even though those things are not all real problems that we actually deal with. For example, gays having the right to be married. That is something that the country's been working on and moving towards. But did you know it was the Democratic Party that made it illegal in the first place? And guess what? It wasn't that long ago. Did you know that it was the Democratic Party that created the KKK, the Southern Democrats? They were the slave owners. Did you know it was the Democratic Party that actually made marijuana illegal in the first place? It's funny. They made gay marriage illegal for tax reasons because they thought the federal government should be getting more money. You guys should do your own research. Research it 100% so you know it. I'm going to bring proof on my next video, but I think if you guys are smart, you'll do your own research and you'll have the facts. And interestingly enough, the Democrats also made marijuana illegal because they couldn't tax it. So here's the deal. Black people, and I don't know if it'll let me say black people on YouTube or if it'll just buzz it out, but how hard did black people fight for the right to be able to speak and have the right to vote? How hard did our black community fight for the right to have freedom of speech? And how hard did the black community fight for the right to bear arms? And how hard did the black community fight for the right and the ability to be able, get out of slavery and make money like everybody else? Now, isn't it interesting how the Democrats, who are the party that, one, enslaved you, two, didn't let you have freedom of speech, and three, didn't let you bear arms, are now the same party who has very cleverly found a way to get you to vote away your freedom of speech. And we all know that Donald Trump made a play on the freedom of speech. Two, get you to vote away your right to bear arms. And three, with socialism, get you to vote away your right to make as much money as you possibly can. And here's another thing to consider. Something that I want you to really think about. When you talk to Southern Democrats, and I do live down in the South, and a lot of these Southern Democrats come from the families that did own slaves, why are they still voting Democratic? Well, let me tell you something. The Democratic Party, especially the higher up Democratic parties, like the people who are president or run for president, they don't have America's best interest at heart. They are a part of a group that is a global elite, which is really becomes more obvious to you when you think about the fact that when our economy was really down, when Obama was in office, gas was really expensive. TVs were really expensive. That benefits the elite. The less money the lower or middle class have, believe it or not, the more money the upper class makes. Because if they double the price of a cheeseburger, that second half of that doubled price is 100% profit. So they don't need to pay as many people to ship it. They don't need to pay as many people to make it. It's all profit. They're way more than doubling their profit. Way more. So the oil company, when Obama was in office, they made shit tons of money off of us, right? Only the elite benefited. And I want you to do the research on the Middle East. You know, it's really funny if you ever talk to somebody from Iraq. Obama killed Saddam Hussein, right? Completely destabilized the nation. And if you talk to any of the military personnel who worked in the Middle East, their orders were never to just go kill all the bad guys. The Democrats kept the Middle East unstable. Why? For oil at a cheap price. And then while Obama was in office, we got oil, not me and you, the elite got oil to sell us at a really cheap price, and then they jacked the price up on us. So we were paying almost $4 or $5 a gallon for fucking gas. Whereas we're in a recession right now with Donald Trump, and gas is cheap, and TVs are cheap. You know who that benefits? Middle class, lower middle class, lower class. You know, all these jobs and everything Donald Trump's done for the economy, lowering taxes, having those big spikes at Wall Street in the stock market, all of that has benefited us a lot. When Obama was in office, jobs were down. We lived through it. We don't have to watch the news and listen to the lies that they tell. People were losing their homes. People were losing their businesses. And prices on gas and TVs were going through the fucking roof. Everybody was being hurt except for the elite. And you know, the other funny thing is, you know, the whole time Obama was in office, you know, he's a black man. He has a black family. He has black daughters. Why didn't he ever do anything to help the black community? Donald Trump was able to pinpoint some of the problems with the police force and pass a law and get those problems solved, so that police officers have to be more honest now. How come President Trump never actually, or not Trump, how come Obama never did that? How come the Clinton family never did that? I'll tell you why. Because while they let people in Seattle take over that city and they encourage that, they don't want to get rid of the police force. Because they're all about the federal government being in complete control. They're communists. They're just trying to unstabilize everything. They just want all of us to have less money so that socialism sounds better. They just want the community to have big problems so that we ask the federal government to step in to fix them. That's what they want, because that brings them closer to being in complete control of your life and my life. We don't want that. That's not freedom. The Republicans think that our local government can govern us, that they can take care of us. They can take care of local issues, like passing laws based on what we do or don't have going on. Every community in America is different, and we have the right to be different. We have the right to freedom. When your federal government is in charge, your voice will not be heard. But when your local government is in charge, you have a much louder voice, because you have local politicians that can actually hear you. They're actually driving through the community and seeing what's going on. So again, America, do not vote away your freedom. Do not vote away your right to bear arms, which gives us the right to overthrow a tyrannous government. The Democratic Party is the definition of a tyrannous government because they're communist. Do not vote away your freedom of speech. And do not vote away socialism. Come on, if the government has control of your money through socialism, has control of what you're able to say, and has taken away your right to bear arms, you're a slave. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to fight back. And what happens if a politician lies? Because sometimes politicians lie, especially Democrats. You see it on fake news all the time. What happens if one of those liars wins your hearts and minds, gets voted into office, and then decides not to leave and decides not to be the president that you want anymore? Because remember, Obama made a play at making it to where a president can run for more than 2 terms. So now what happens if one of these communists decides not to leave office? He has control of your money. He's taking away freedom of speech and your right to bear arms. Now the whole country is fucked because you're too fucking stupid to think about it. Over and out.